Good morning, everyone. So today we talk about our office Bootcamp 2024 landmark Bootcamp. And today we talk about topic 14, residential freehold lease listing. So basically this is for lease. So we may make it very easy. So let's see how we are going to start. So that is the residential lease freehold listing. And we also talk about the residential condo in the next week. Same thing. If someone ask you to lease their property freehold, maybe it's your own property, maybe you have a friend, have a client. So first, the same thing, we need to get the property address, need to get the owner's photo ID. We may need the tax bill. And then we quickly search the property MLS history, and we need to find all of those information. And if the property was leased before, so we can use previous information, and we create transaction from Webform. And same thing, we use add edit to generate MLS data form. And last one, we need to ask the landlord to sign it. This is the landlord. To send all the documents and submit to the MLS. So we need to set up the broker base showing, and after listing is on the MLS, so we have to make the showing. If there's any agent they have interest, so they will send the offer to you, and you need to bring everything together to get a summary to landlord. And after landlord, either make decision for accept, either make a decision for decline. So after offer accept, we need a follow up with the deposit. And the last one is for the closing. So once the closing checklist on the closing day or the day before, so that's all for the residential freehold lease listing. Okay, let's start from MLS. Most of the cases we help our buyer client to purchase a property, and the buyer, after closing the property closing, the buyer said, "Oh, hey, can you help me to rent out? This is my income property." So that is also the way we are going to help someone to do the freehold lease listing. So let's say this is a property we just help our client purchase, and after closing, we help them to put on the MLS for lease. So before the closing, remember, never put the before closing we put on the MLS because the property is not belong your client yet. And let's start. So let's say this is a property we help our client purchase, and now we are going to quickly to start how to prepare the this freehold to list on the MLS. Webform, we go quickly check tours, quickly check Webforms, just right here. After Webform, we create transaction. After we create a transaction, we put the property name. We can quickly copy from here. And the template, so we choose a template. This is 003, is a listing freehold, 03C. We should have found the right template, 03C. And after that, we can quickly create. But some agent said, you know what, this is what's listed on the MLS. Can I copy the MLS number and see if we can bring something from the MLS? Let's try. I think it's not working. I will have a 99% sure not working, but anyway, I will try because we have some agent, they said, I want to put the MLS number here. It's a freehold MLS number, and we are at the listing site. Let's say create. Okay, so that is the message that come out, import MLS data file. Reason is no records found. So that means for listing, we will suggest you don't do anything other than the first two. First name, second one template. After that, forget about that. If you're trying to do, just waste your time. So let's go create transaction. It's very easy. Once a transaction create, we go forms. And we're the listing agent. We need a listing agreement for this. We need a MLS data form. As we mentioned before, the MLS data form, we can use add it to instate. So we don't need to do that 2 times. And the MLS property information, so that is for ITSO. Some agent ask why this is from come out. So it looks like a very stranger to me. So MLS property information form is for ITSO for Mississauga board. If you are the Mississauga board agent, if you prepare the listing, so you can use ITSO. But anyway, this is not apply for this transaction. I will quickly click 3 dot. I will click delete. That means not applied. So we just need 2 forms basically. And however, I will always suggest you put another form. They don't need signature, but they need file information. It's called fund track form. So we need a 1, 2, 210, 810 for the signature, and also the MLS edit. And also we need a 630. 630 is for fund track form. Fund track, that means we want to make sure this person is the seller. We don't want to lease somebody else's property, get it wrong. You know, if we don't check with the photo ID, we cannot make sure this is a real homeowner. Okay, let's start from first one. Listing agreement. And that's a pretty standard it's very straightforward. The landlord name, if you find the landlord name from the Geowarehouse or from the homeowner, they give you the property tax bill, we can find the homeowner name. Okay, anyway, I just use some fake name. And designate the salesperson is you as a listing agent, property address, and we have a property address is right here. And so, okay, anyway, I will not going to put there because we can save some time. This is the street name, street number, and the city, province, postcode. And the commencing date is the same thing. You know, if the property, everything is get ready today, we can list on the MLS today. But if the property is not get ready, maybe the homeowner, the seller, the landlord, they need to take a few days to clean up. Maybe they need a renovation, whatever reason. So let's say today we can just upload it today. If they say no, I'm not going to be ready until next Friday. So we can put next Friday's date. So we don't need to wait for the next Friday to send a document to them. We can send a listing agreement, everything today, but the commencing day is next in the future date, next Friday. Expire date, usually is minimum 60 days. We go few months extra. So that is the commencing day, commence day, and also the expire date. And how much we should list. So we can quickly check the list price in the neighborhood. So usually I will go to postcode, copy postcode, and open the new window. I will go to residential freehold lease. Choose the right category and the map search and jump to the map. So now we found the property is located here. So I will use draw polygon and just use this block. Use this block to do the quick CMA and go back. And I need list in the last 6 months. I just want to check detached. And okay, so there's none result come out. Maybe you can still continue go with a garage, bedroom, but however, there's not too many results come out. But one very important thing is this is list for the whole property. I can check from here. You see the entire property. Otherwise, if the property lists only basement, only main floor, so that will be a different list price. So I want to check the property list for the entire property. So there's only 4 results. I go quickly, come out. So the price is 3,500 to 3,800. So we can roughly know how much we can lease. Or you can click select the all, go to quick CMA. They will bring you the average price, the minimum price, and the max price. Usually we choose the average price. Maybe we can list 3,550 or 3,600. So that is the price. It's easy to list out. So that's how we are going to quickly find out how much the property list. So if we talk to the landlord agree 3,550. So that is the listing price. Commission. So commission is 1 month. Rent. We give it to co-op agent half month. Rent. Holdover usually is 90 days. Okay, before we go next, someone they will say, you know, what? This is my best friend. I don't want to make any money from him. So how I'm going to write down the total commission? So to the co-op commission, half month plus HST. So we have to give the co-op agent brokerage. But for the listing side, if this is your best friend, if this is your own property, so usually I will suggest you write down half month rent plus transaction fees. So usually we'll see how much the transaction fee. For the lease, residential lease, office will take 15% of half month. Let's see, the rent is $2,000, half month is $1,000, and the office will take 150. So if you don't want to make money from landlord, so you can ask a landlord to pay $150 if the lease price is 2,000, and the rest will go to the half months go to the co-op agent. Okay, so this is a normal transaction. I'm not going to take half months, just take a 1 month rent. So for the next part, usually we leave blank. That means in case the tenant, they want to buy the property from the landlord. So usually if this situation happened, the landlord still trusts you. We need to send a listing agreement with the landlord at that time. So usually we leave blank at this area. So all of the rest is similar as the listing for sale. So just need the signature, agent signature, landlord signature. That's all for this form. Okay, so we go next form, A10. A10 is the same working with a realtor. It's a very simple form. This is a seller. Someone said, no, this is a landlord, but there's no selection for landlord, only the buyer and the seller. So if we scroll down, if we scroll down, you see here, the seller can be interpreted as a landlord and the buyer can be mean tenant. So this form, they have explained the seller and the buyer. So we can use a seller or landlord to initial this part and initial signature. Yeah. All right, so that is the two form we finished. And the last form is the fund track form. Fund track form is very important. Usually for office, we don't need, but I will strongly suggest you keep fund track form in your file. Because, you know, sometimes maybe someone, they said that they're homeowner, they have a key, they want to be a landlord to listing for lease from you. If you do the verification for the fund track, in the future, there's something happen, you know, you will get a problem. Okay, so I will leave the fund track form for now because everything should be very straightforward. We already did in the past few times training for the fund track. The next one, we will quickly go for the last important part is for the MLS data form. So here is MLS data. We can just open and fill all the information here. Or we can go to MLS. Because MLS, we can use add, edit, generate the MLS form. We can ask the landlord to sign it. That means we don't need to do the 2 times. Just waste your time, duplicate the job. Okay, let's go to add edit. From the add edit, we need to go one more time. Okay, from add edit, we check the listing. This is the listing. Let's say we just purchased from our buyer. They wanted to rent out. Remember, this is for sale, residential freehold for sale. We cannot use the MLS number column to them for lease, cannot be cross-typed. So either we have to manually enter all the information from here. Either we check and see if they have any transaction was leased before. So we don't see there's any transaction leased before. That means we have to manually enter all the information. So that's a start. And we use the address. All right, we find out. And the next one, we need to choose agent's name. I think for your MLS, it's already your name. And the transaction type, this is for lease. And of course, you know, sometimes we have for sublease. It's not usually happen. You need to choose sublease, but this is for lease. And the property type is freehold, property detached, and yeah, that's it. And we can quickly use create. So this is residential for lease. We all have all the information, row number, PIN number, area. We just go for the front on. We check from MLS. It's front on south. And direction, I think is Warden and Steels. Yes, we can quickly put the direction. And then go next one, amount, how much you want the lease is 3,550. And the commencing date, that means next week, we cannot select the next week. So we only can select today. So when next Friday come, you need to go to add edit, go to draft and change it to 23rd when the next Friday come. And then submit. So expire date, we all know is go to by end of the June. And the position date, position remark, you can choose either one. So you see there 2 is mandatory, but we can choose either one. That will go 30 days or ASAP/TBA, because when the property close, you want to lease out as soon as possible. And the holdover, we know it's 90 days. Landlord name, you can put landlord term. We need a minimum one year. And for the payment, we require monthly payment method, check. Rental application, yes. Employment letter, yes. Buy option, no. Credit check, yes. Reference, yes. Deposit, yes. Lease agreement, yes. You see, this is not mandatory, but usually for myself, even this is not mandatory, but I always like to check for myself. You know, if you are busy, you don't need a check. This is not mandatory. And include, it's not include, not everything include. Only, I think only the parking include. For rest of that, they have to pay. And the next one, detached link is no. And the entire property, style 2-story. Here is a brick. Garage type, built-in. Garage is one garage. Parking space. Provide the parking, one garage, one parking, total two parking space. And the water is similar. If you see, this is very, very similar as like a Freehold. And the swimming pool, no. Sewer is a city sewer system. And private entrance, yes. Laundry level in area. So that's just to take the time. So, you know, your first time maybe take a little bit of time, but it's still able to do it. And keep going. How many rooms? If you don't know, you can check from the listing. This says 6+1, 3-bedroom, 4 bathroom. So you can just copy from the MLS. You know, everything is come from the MLS is come from the here, the draft. So now we just bring everything back to the draft, because that is for sale. This is for lease. And you know what? I'm not going to take the time, because this is for the only for this demonstration property only. If you have your own listing, I think it will be totally different information. But however, so you can use the same way. If you find the listing from previous one, just bring all the information back to MLS and add it. Of course, if you know some property is not leased recently, you have to double check with the seller, with the landlord, or you need to physically go there to see it. And once all the information finish, we just go use a preview. From the preview, we use generate. And you see there's a signature for landlord. We just download, save it to your computer. And then we go to, and from the web form, we send these 2 forms to DigiSign. From the DigiSign, we upload the MLS draft and let the seller to sign all of those forms. Before the seller sign it, we from the DigiSign, we need to cross out February 16, and we need to write down February 23, because 23 next week, we're going to put on the MLS. So we need to make sure all the commencing date is same. Okay, so once the seller, landlord signed the document, the next week come, we just click submit to MLS. Make sure you have get a lockbox ready, and let the people come to see the property. So any offer come in, remember, any offer come in, always, you know, when you receive the offer, you are so exciting, but you have to very carefully to review all the information, like a credit report, you need to ask the tenant's agent to give you the full credit report, because some tenant, they only take a picture for the first page, just to show you the how much the credit. But we need a full report to read through the report, making sure the credit report is a real one, making sure the tenant, how many credit card they have, how much the debts they have, and how much the limited the credit card they have, how much the the payment, because someone they always pay the credit card in full, someone they only pay the minimum. If they have too much debts, that means in the future they don't have enough money to pay the rent. And also we need to call the employer, make sure the person is working here. When you call, make sure you call from the search, from Google search that company, and then make sure the phone number is a real correct phone number to call and verify. Make sure you call the previous landlord, make sure you get a reference, and also call the reference. So once you've done all the job, you need to send a summary. The summary, you sometimes we just send everything. When the agent send them your offer, you forward to landlord. So this is not the way we're going to do. We have to bring the everything. We have to do our research. After research, we give the summary. Summary is one. This couple tenant, this total have 3 people, and the husband wife is working. And the next one, for their credit, both credit is good, and for the credit they have they paid all the credit, so credit is they don't have too much debts. And the next one, you verify the employment employer, everything is true, and also you double check with the reference. That means you help the landlord to do the verification job. So finally, you just ask a landlord to make a decision. Either they want accept, either they want decline. So we cannot just bring everything to landlord. So we just make it easy to landlord, let them to make a decision. Whatever the decision they make, they just tell you either accept or not accept. We don't want to know the reason. So sometimes the tenant agent asks why they declined. So we only can tell them, this is a landlord decision. The last one, closing checklist. The close check. When the day for the close, we have sometimes we will go with the landlord together to do the closing with the tenant, because the closing day we don't need to get the lawyer involved. Can be any day, weekend, holiday, morning, evening, night, anytime we can do the closing. So if you have time, make sure you can go closing with the landlord together. And also I have some forms like a receipt. Oops, that's a form, it's already. I have one of the sample, but you can do your own or search from website, the receipt, how many cases you receipt, how many posted check you receipt, mailbox, locker room key, building access fob car. And so that is the initial from the both sides. And you have agent's name, agent's phone number, the landlord's name, landlord phone number, email, tenant's name, tenant's phone number, tenant's email. That means in case there's something happen, tenant keep one receipt, landlord, they keep one receipt, so they can communicate each other. And what they gave when the when the tenant move out, so you have the receipt. In the case you give it to tenant, they should give back to you how much the deposit for key deposit. You need to give back to the tenant. And yeah, that is a pretty simple form. If you really need, you can let me know. I can send it to you. And other than that, we know the freehold. Usually the contract is already include the tenant to do the snow removal, but we have some like paralegal from the rent paralegal. They said that the best you have to snow removal and the lawn maintenance agreement with the tenant. So that means, for the lots of the legal prospect, they will strongly suggest you do this agreement. Anyway, so this is a very simple form, and you may take a photo. You may ask me, I can send you later on. So that is not mandatory, it's only option. Okay, so it's very easy for today. We don't want to make it too much complicated. For lease, residential lease, freehold is really simple. Making sure you get all the information to start the lease. Making sure if the landlord, it's not too much money we can make just 1 month, half month rent plus HST. It's not too much money, but we do everything exactly same as listing for sale. Everything is the same. The paperwork and the CMA, and also create a transaction, upload the MLS, the showing inquiry, receive the offer, counter the offer, give advice to your client, and also the closing. Maybe it's much more than resale, because the resale, the lawyer handle the closing, but for the lease, sometimes we have to handle the closing together with landlord. So that is all for today. And for the details, based on the feedback, I don't want to get too much for the details. And everybody have a limited time. You don't want to waste too much time to watch the details, because every property will be different. So I only to show you where we can start. That's good enough. Okay, so half an hour, it's not too bad. And I may stop here. So if you're living in the West, like Mississauga, Oakville, closer to Oakville office, I will strongly suggest you take a time and go to our Oakville office. We have a Chinese New Year lunch, and also we have red pocket. It's money inside. If you go to office, and Tony will give you the money. It's a red lucky pocket. It's $5. I will let you know $5 is inside. Maybe buy coffee for you. If you're closer to Oakville office, please go to office by 12 o'clock. Okay, so I will stop here. Thank you for joining today.